Annette Dion here. I'm the host and founder of the Psychic News Network. Let me plug in my microphone. It's Friday Night Live! That's what we call it. That's what we've called it for years now. Remember, when we fight, we win. Yes, we do. I know. We're in the wake-up call days. I know those of us who have been paying attention feel like we don't need to be woken up, but we're in the wake-up call days for the rest of America. I have said many times before, hey Terry, how you doing? Let's give you a bell. I have said many times before that it takes a catastrophe before people pay attention. We're in a catastrophe. Yes, it's very sunny where I am. Yes, I'm liking it. I feel a little slanted. Hang on. I mean, in more ways than one. Let me show you a picture of a book cover that I've shown you before. This is a book by Seth Abramson. This book was written, and I've shown it to you before a while back. Let's see when this was written. It's called Proof of Conspiracy. Written copyright 2019. Here you have it, folks. BB. That's somebody from the United Arab Emirates. I'm not sure who. Okay. BB, Dumpy, Pooty. MBS, I think so. I have to read it. Okay. Dumpy, Pooty, BB. Need I say more? You can get the book. My dad had this book, and I said I want to read it, and I'm remiss because I haven't read it, because it's intimidatingly long. But all I need to see is the cover. I've been very unsettled the past few days, and I psychically now I'm really seeing why. There's so much going on. And it's just like things just keep amping up. And today I felt a real unsettledness, and then I heard that Israel attacked Iran. And today Iran attacked Israel. So, I don't know about you guys, but I certainly wish there was somebody other than Dumpy in the White House right now who's kind of part of all this, what's going on, like I just showed you. I certainly wish we had somebody other than asshole Pete Hegseth. I'm sorry. I'm extremely furious. It's not only distractions galore, like Claudia O is saying. It's not only that. It's that we have a mentally deranged, incompetent buffoon in the White House, and all the people around him are effing buffoons. And the American people in general seem to think, not you guys, seem to think that we're in a reality show, and it's just like, oh, wars, they happen over there, and we're fine, we'll never be attacked, and we don't have to vote, and we'll just do our lives, we won't pay attention to politics, and oh, Trump won again, oh, well, I guess that's okay. It takes a catastrophe before people pay attention. When you found out, told your housemate, so glad Dumpy Prez. That's what I'm talking about. You hope the military are hiding the codes. I do think they are. don't even know where to begin. Warren Green is asking, is this the last straw? I will ask the pendulum. I keep seeing the words in my head. Removal. This removal calls for removal. They're going to get very loud. Dumpy can't read. Your pet dog is smarter than him. And I don't know if any of you caught Hegseth. What do we call him? Keg's breath? If you've caught any of these hearings where the Democrats are grilling him, oh my God. He won't answer the question, and the things that he distracts with are so lame. I can't even go there at the moment. Let's take a look at this. I'm picking up imminent removal. I mean, let's really... You like the pop-up? Good. I'm glad I went outside. So nice out. Let's really look at what we're up against here. I'm gonna lay it on the line. There was a Cold War. And the Cold War thawed out between, U.S. and Russia. Mr. Gorbachev, tear down that wall. Russia became democratic. And then Putin got in. And we had this nuclear arms race going on during the Reagan administration. Remember he called it Star Wars. And the United States and Russia amped up their production of nuclear weapons. Now, if you know anything about nuclear weapons, we have enough nuclear weapons on the planet to blow up the entire planet Earth thousands upon thousands of times. Dumpy is an instigator. Dumpy likes to stir up chaos and trouble and, yes, wars. Russia, I'm pretty sure, is capable of hitting at least Alaska. Remember Sarah Palin? I can see Russia from my house. Nuclear weapons, just one or two. We're done. We're done. We're finished. So this is no laughing matter. This is nothing to sneeze at. These are big potatoes, like that. Okay, that's where we are. Now, I love it that people don't want to hear the truth. I'm being completely sarcastic. 2 Russian silos imploded in 18 months. It makes me crazy that people don't pay attention. I'm not referring to you guys. I want to know I'm not alone, that it makes me crazy that the American people are just like, oh, we don't need to vote. Yeah, well, it'll just take care of itself. And here we are. Here we are. Let's see what... I feel like I want to use some different cards. So let's pick a Forest Fae card. Yeah, thank you, Terry. I'm not alone. You want to shake people to wake them up. So it just helps me to know that we're all here. It helps me to know that we share the same sentiments. I can't tell you how many times people thank me for ranting, and I just go, I'm just channeling your rage. So let's pull a Forest Fae to start us off. Thank you for being here, and please hit the thumbs up, because we need to do a group hug tonight for sure. And I know people are putting up there in the chat that when they launched the nuclear weapons, they imploded. That's really good news. But there are a ton of them. Tons and tons and tons of them. So that doesn't bring me a lot of peace. I wish it did. The people are so oblivious. That's really true. Okay, so the storyteller is coming up. Stories are medicine, strengthening, and renewing. This Forest Fae is encouraging us to tell a story in our minds that we want to see happen. Yes, 174 in the house. Yay, thank you for being here. One of the medals should be asshole of the universe. Yeah, and they all get it, right? Michael is saying. So that's what we're going to kind of use as our focal point tonight. Tell the story that you want to see become manifest. I see somebody's up there saying the ETs won't let us blow ourselves up, but we don't know that. I think it's better to not test fate, right? Do I think that Trump will wear a military uniform like a general's with medals? Of course he will. He was Mussolini! Alright, so tonight we're going to tell the good stories. We're going to tell a good story about what's going to happen. His removal is imminent. I can see it. So, let me show you this. I did post this. How many times I've said that he was Mussolini. Look. It's just like... And there are pictures of Dumpy where he looks exactly like him. If you do this, you can see the resemblance, can't you? Oh, Kathy's here. She's at some kind of a Ren fair. Spreading the peace and the love and the joy. So Amanda's saying, didn't I say that the ETs will stop our nuclear, it would stop us from blowing up the planet? Nothing's for sure. Yeah, we shouldn't tempt fate, right? The Pope Stadium sold out. Yes. Pope Leo sold out in about, I heard, like 15 minutes. Yeah. Okay. So, I did mention the other day, really, really disturbing that I saw the military, and I didn't know at that point that the Army cadets behind Dumpy, when he was given that ridiculous, racist speech praising the Confederacy, I was very concerned about that, and then later today found out that actually they were vetted to make sure that they had fealty to Dumpy. We're going to read. I did read earlier on the parade. We will read on that. I do want to read from the Book of Character. If there's anything that's really pressing that you really need to know, you can put your question up. Grab a cocktail, we're diving in. Michelle's at a concert? Who are you seeing? I know, Michael, you're saying the agreement among the... Hang on. He's saying the agreement among the celestial beings is that they won't let us blow ourselves up with nukes. Who told you this? I'm not saying that we will. I'm just saying, how do you know? Let's not tempt fate, right? Okay, so, in other words, we need to really be involved. Let's take a look at the Psychic Tarot. Oh, come on, be nice, Electrostorm. Let's not start something. Everybody's really on edge. Come on. Be gentle. We're going to pull 3 cards about... Well, first of all, let's do this. Is the military parade going to happen? I have a no. Okay, and Warren asked, let's ask, Warren, what was the question you asked? Did I answer it? Oh, is this the last straw? This is the last straw. Yes, it's going to rain tomorrow in Washington. If it's raining and thundering and lightning, they can't have the military parade. Will the weather prevent the military parade from happening? It's more than one factor. It's not just that. It's more than one thing. But I have a yes. It's not just that. All right, 3 cards about the military parade. Let's just ask that. I know, it's going to rain on his parade. Look at me crying about it. Come on, you guys are asking questions that you know that you can answer yourself with your own psychic ability. You can ask me the hard questions. I don't get that it's just, I'm not picking up that it won't happen solely due to the weather. There's something else going on there. There's something else. There are obstacles and challenges. There's something to do with this attack of Israel on Iran that's going to, there's a wrench in the works. He'll have a tantrum and get struck by lightning. Bring forth Streisand's Don't Rain on My Parade. I don't think I know that one. Noam's people came out and said the Senator Padilla didn't identify himself. Shouldn't she know who he is? They're lame. Okay, so remember the Force Fae card said to tell the story. Tell a story. So tell a story of what you want to see happen. What we want to see happen is all of these Putin employees removed. I don't want to get into the Christy Noam thing too much because I'll just you'll see my head explode. So we have, as far as this parade goes, the universe is playing a role. It does look like the parade will be rained on. And we have to be patient because what needs to happen is starting to happen. Okay. This is what we need to do right now because I can feel it. Has P passed unexpectedly? Who's P? Work with me. Come on. I don't know what you're talking about. There are videos that prove Padilla identified himself. All right, let's backtrack. Christy Noam, she should know who he is. All right, I need to get everyone in the same space right here to talk about this because this is how they gaslight. So let's just call it for what it is. All right, this is my rant. I'll try to make it short. When people are talking about, oh, these people are being deported, they shouldn't be deported. Okay, for one thing, we don't deport people who are, even if they're crime suspects, we don't send them out of the country to concentration camps. That is a crime against humanity, right? So it's not about them being illegal, or it's not about that. That's just not what we do. So let's not lose sight of what the real issues are. That Christy Noam is saying she didn't know who the Senator Padilla was. When she says that, that's not the point. The point is, if somebody has a question, even if she didn't know who he was, if anybody has a question, that's not grounds for decking him, getting him on the floor, and handcuffing him, no matter who he was. Is it me? I love you guys. I'm just ranting. It's not about whether she knew who he was or not. It's not about whether he identified himself or not. It's about why are they decking a guy who's asking a question. I don't care if it's a homeless man on the street who walked in and went, hey, I want to ask a question of Kristi Noem, because I'm in a democracy, and that's what we're allowed to do in a democracy, because it's government by the people. And by the way, she's not in a position where she's supposed to have fealty to the king. She swore an oath to defend and protect the United States Constitution, and the President of the United States has to abide by the United States Constitution. That's the job. And he swore an oath that he would. Let's all take a deep breath. I know oaths don't matter. I know that. And I'm triggered. And I admit it. And it's got nothing to do with not wanting to be with you guys or anything like that. It has to do with, I don't remember the tension having ever been this high. And besides, there's a whole lot of things that fall into this category. Here's the other thing. That they're calling the peaceful protesters insurrectionists. They're saying that they're criminals and they're criming on the streets, and they're calling them insurrectionists while they let the insurrectionist criminals be pardoned and released like they did something, like they're saints, and they did something that was so saintly, and they're so patriotic, and they hate democracy, and they work for Putin. Let's take a deep breath together, shall we? Deep breath in. Hold it as long as you can. And a longer breath out. And let's acknowledge that we show up. Let's give ourselves credit that we show up. Yeah, he literally thinks that he's supposed to shoot protesters. Okay? So here we are. The battle between goodness and evil. Let's take a look at what's going to happen with the situation of Dumpy being absolutely clueless and basically starting a war. We need to pray for our troops. Where are all my cards? Hang on. Talk amongst yourselves. We'll use the Aquarian Tarot. I organized my cards and now I can't find them. Aren't all Americans together more important than the few that blindly chose the clown? Yes, but they don't think that way. Let's choose 3 cards about what's going to happen to Israel. And pray for the people, pray for the military families. Hegseth has put all of our military in harm's way. So the situation in Israel. The United States is going to feel trapped in a war. But I'm telling you, I see calls for Dumpy's removal. Oh yeah, definitely show up at the protests. There's like 1,800 protests all over the country, and that's just like the major ones. It's a numbers game. So as far as the situation of Iran bombing Israel and that war, the United States is trapped. It's up to 2,000 protests, and that's not counting the little protests. Three of Cups. It looks like there's going to be a regime change here in the United States of America. The Knight of Swords. The people in our military that actually have brains and they're not deranged and crazy are going to step it up. And this includes the veterans too. They're going to step it up. They're going to step up their influence. This is an existential threat to the existence of human life on planet Earth. I'm not joking. Oh, Amanda, I hope I've inspired you to check on the news. I recommend, as much as I complain about Midas Touch, I recommend Midas Touch. They have up-to-the-minute news all the time. Okay. Let me just pull this deck of character out of my bag. Indivisible map covered from east to west. Yes. Now, don't think that I don't sense that this madness is going to come to an end. But we have to be loud, loud, loud. Why do I complain about Midas Touch? Well, initially they never questioned the election results. And then my most recent complaint is that no, I'm not joking, you're right, Sharon. Is that Ben Meiselas started saying that we are a dictatorship, we are fascism, we are an authoritarian regime. Okay, there are definitely things of that nature going on, but the United States of America is a democracy. Okay? 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 Where's Thomas? We need some dad jokes. Okay, let's pull 3 cards about what's going on with Dumpy right now. Right now, from our deck of character. You guys going to do anything fun tonight? I'm going to record the 3rd video for our, how to use a pendulum. Those videos are available to members. Damon unsubscribed from Midas Touch a long time ago. The thing is about them is, I mean, they do get sensationalist. I don't like that. Warren gets his news from PNN. Well, that's good. If you watch Rosie's Insights, Rosie's really good at posting like up to the minute, news stories that she finds, and she's technologically savvy and she can show you the articles and the sources. You also, remember people unsubscribed from Midas Touch when they didn't say anything about the election. Oh, Dumpy is so excited about his military party. I'm not going to a protest tomorrow. I actually have to work tomorrow, but I'm going to take a break, and I'll be in Salem. I'm going to take a break and go stand on the corner with the other. I'm sure there's plenty of other people protesting, so I will take a break and do that. I'm not going into Boston. I would if I could. Dumpy is so excited. Everyone around him is going, oh, you're going to have such a wonderful military party. He is gonzo. Dumpy is gonzo. He's so excited like a little child about his military parade. But it's going to sink like a rock. It's going to sink like a rock. Let's read on... Let's read on what... Just the protesters. We're just going to pull 3 cards from the deck of characters about the effect of the protests, the effects of the protests. And the nerve of him to say, if you are out protesting, exercising your First Amendment right, that they're going to come after you with brute force. Oh, Jessica Denson is on now. Okay, good. how it's going to go for the people that are protesting. It's actually going to make it clearer. It's going to make it clearer to the fascist regime what they're dealing with. But that there's a flower. This is actually indicating, I just want to say peacefulness. I just want to say peacefulness. Now, I actually have no idea why anybody here would watch that parade. It surprises me. It really does. So let's pull 3 cards. Yeah, more people are going to watch the Pope instead. That's true. Let's pull 3 cards, 3 of these cards on the Pope. And then I'm going to pull from a different deck too. Alright. The effects of Pope Leo on what's going on. Now, I want to say right here that I don't know how anybody who doesn't have some kind of a belief in a higher power is getting through these times. Yay! You're all going to protest tomorrow. That's great. What's going to happen? This is interesting. So I'm asking about the impact or the effect of Pope Leo saying a Catholic Mass while all this is going on, live streamed in from Vatican City during the Dumpy military parade, and it puts it heats things up for Dumpy. And what that is doing, him having that Catholic Mass. Now remember, the Catholic Church is the only religion that knows how to do exorcisms. We'll just leave that there. It's going to send the negativity back to its origins. It's going to send the evil back to where it came from. Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. When Dumpy was a little boy, did he not get any birthday parties? He had no love. The thing about his soul is the punishment for his soul is that he's never experienced love. Let me pull 3 of these cards about the impact of the Pope tomorrow. Does anyone know what time that Mass is going to happen? I guess they're going to live stream it into Wrigley Field. He ordained a saint today. A young man who did a couple of miracles. Nice. Oh, Thomas is here with the dad jokes. Check it out. Okay, 3 cards about the same topic. Raising the vibrational frequency. This is the same topic. 4 o'clock Central. Thank you. Thank you. I'm just reading further on that. What Leo is doing is exposing all the deception. I mean, I know it's a Catholic Mass, but he'll probably speak. And he's probably going to speak. What Pope Leo is speaking to is how discontented we are, how purposeless we are in this country in general, and the deception and envy. He's going to point out what the dark side is doing and raise the awareness. He's raising the consciousness of the American people. Okay. Wow. Let's read on Hegseth. You know what I'm wondering? I'm wondering where I put my nefarious cards. But when I can't find them, that means I'm not supposed to read them. All right. We're getting close to 200 thumbs up. You hear thunder outside? Oh, by the way, the protests will go on, rain or shine. So the problem with the bad weather in DC would be that they have tanks. They're literally driving tanks down the streets, and lightning can hit them because they're metal. Can you imagine being in a tank and being hit by lightning? That would be bad. I love you guys. It looks to me Veterans just stormed the Capitol building. Are you serious? Is that real? Is that real news? I'm reading on Pete Hegseth. Did I say that? Well, I ask if Iran has a nuke. Well, you know that Dumpy shut down the nuclear deal that Obama put in effect. I think they have a little one. Okay, we'll read on Hegseth. What's his fate? Okay, we'll be praying for people to be safe. We will. Oh, Amanda, you're going to this. Okay, I'll see you there. I'm right by the Hawthorne Hotel. Send me a message. I'll meet up with you. Did you just ask? Wait a minute. Can we expect this parade every year now, Joyce? What's up with that? Dad joke, ever since I injured myself when cycling home after a night off, I can't handle bars. Yes, cool beans, we'll hook up. I'll take a break and come over. Hegseth. Huge burden. Huge burden. He's freaking out. Pete Hegseth is freaking out. Oh my God. He cannot handle the pressure. He might resign. The Queen of Cups. It looks like somebody's really grilling him. Did you see Mikey Sherrill grilling him from New Jersey? Does this end Hegseth's ridiculous short career? Are you using a pendulum, Rita? That's a yes. If they're not crossing, that's a yes. Yeah, I'm getting a yes. He can't handle it. He cannot handle it. Yeah, I think that he's drinking heavily. I do. I picked that up. Okay, let's read on ice. Somebody's mentioning ice. Let's see. What's going to happen to... I'll read the deck of character on ice too. What's going to happen to these ice people? Now, the last time I read on it, I got that there were plans to expand the number of ice agents. The evil is going to be addressed. The judgment will be on the ice people. Yep. The Ten of Pentacles, they're going to be stopped. These ice raids are going to be stopped. We need 11 thumbs up to do a group hug. All right. Wow. Okay. Interesting. Let me ask the guides what they want me to read on. Okay. I'm going to actually read, because I saw an interview with Tim Waltz. Keith Edwards did an interview with Tim Waltz. And he was being asked, was the election stolen? And Tim Waltz said he didn't think that it was. But I think he was just covering his ass. So let's see. I know, Michael, you're saying that you told me that ICE agents are fascists, but it's not the same as it used to be. This is a whole new slew of ICE agents. They're not qualified. They're fake. You can buy the uniforms on eBay. All right. Hey, what was I just going to ask? You guys throw me off. Where's Terry? What was I just going to ask about? Dad joke. 100 years ago, two brothers claimed they could fly. They were right. Oh, Tim Walz. Thank you. I've got 10 different topics in my brain. Was Tim Walz just covering his butt when he said he didn't think the election was interfered with? Was he just kind of covering his butt? Thank you. That's a yes. That's a yes. So my question is, because I saw Tim Walz being interviewed on Keith Edwards on his show. He has a YouTube channel similar to Midas Touch. And he asked Tim Walz, was the election stolen? And I think he didn't want to say that he thought that it was. And then he did this annoying thing which said, they kind of blamed it on the Democrats. Yeah, he knows. He knows. So let's read on that. Oh, and we just passed 200, so we'll do a group hug in a moment. So I'm going to ask about the election. Is that going to come up? All right, let's see. Is it going to come up? It does. Well, I got the sun card. That's, yeah. The evidence that the election was rigged is going to come to light. There's going to be a really astute whistleblower at some point. But the American people are going to suffer first. He said he couldn't say because he was too close to it. Yeah. I maintain what I said after the election. From a divine perspective, America needed to wake up. And now we're waking up. Because you wake up when things are horrible, right? Does Tim know he is a Democrat? The way he's been talking about the party is really disappointing. Well, let's read on that. Let's read on that whole screed that they're doing is like blaming the Democrats. Let's do a group hug and then we'll answer a few more questions. All right, ready? We're going to think about all the protests being safe. We're going to think about all our military being safe and Dumpy being removed from office and all his monkeys. Okay? And a hug for all the people that are really distraught and suffering and depressed, okay? And we'll lift the energy of the group. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Safe protests everywhere. Shield of light around all the protesters. The military parade falls apart completely. This fascist regime falls apart completely. And all those that are suffering, we lift you up. And let's think about miracles happening. All right, lifting the vibe. Thank you. It's always good to do. Okay. So let's see what else we need to focus on. Will Muskrats spill the beans? Yes, I definitely do get that the election being rigged will be brought up now that things are really tough. I'm starting to hear it already. I'm starting to hear that conversation happening. All right. Let's read on now. Notice how much we haven't really heard anything about the murder bill. And I'm just going to recap what I said before about the murder bill, the big bad bill. Oh, wow. The big bad bill. We haven't heard much about it. Veterans broke through the barriers at the U.S. Capitol to perform a sit-in and protest abuse of power, and 20 were arrested and put into vans. Was that just now? Dad joke. What do you call a camel without humps? Humphrey. You got a strong yes that Muskrat will spill the beans. Yeah, and also, what did they make up now? They got back together after the breakup? Will Muskrat spill the beans? I think it's risky for him to do so. Will Muskrat spill the beans about the election? The rods aren't sure. Will Elon spill the beans about the election? I'm getting I think I'm getting a no. I'm getting a no. I think something else is going to unfold. I don't think he's going to, I don't think he will, because then he's basically admitting his own guilt. So let's read on the bill. I mean, it's something else. Yeah, Avril Haines, yeah. The evidence will come out. It's on its way out about the election, like being exposed. It's not just from one source. Okay, I'm going to pull 3 cards about... Yeah, but Rita, it's not about Muskrat getting immunity. It's about he doesn't want to be seen as complicit. That's what I get. The big beautiful bill, yeah. I mean the big bad murder bill. What's going on with that? Okay, so the GOP, the MAGA Republicans think that they have a win. They're sequestering themselves away. They think, now keep in mind, this is what I said. I pick up the MAGA Republicans that want to vote yes on the murder bill are secluding themselves, and they're really happy that they think that it's going to pass. The Page of Cups says not so fast. I'm getting an overwhelming feeling that they can't ignore the people. They will try, but they can't ignore the people. I'm going to pull 3 cards on our justice system, on our federal judges. I'm going to remind you all the one thing that keeps me going. There's a lot of things that keep me going. One is faith in the higher power. Honestly, I really just don't know how people are coping if they don't believe in a higher intelligence. I don't know. And I think the daily off the ledge vids are keeping me strong too, so I hope they're helping you. All right. All of a sudden the chat left. Shall we read on all right, let's read on the judges, because the one thing that keeps me going is that the guides told me years ago that because of Donald Trump, we will reinforce our democracy and we'll make it really, really strong. Yeah, you're here. I see you now. And I've stuck to that. And the other thing that keeps me strong and inspired is, like I said, a higher power. And also because I feel the frequency on the planet. And we're at a higher frequency than humanity was during the 1930s and 40s, especially around World War II. We don't have that base level. We're at a higher frequency. You'll see at the protests how nice people are. Cheryl's saying Tulsi Gabbard is a Putin operative. Let me be clear about something. They all are. Hey, Mary. I inspired Mary to come up to Massachusetts. Let's recap. In 2018, a whole group of Republicans accepted an offer to fly to Moscow to hang out at the Kremlin. Okay. 3 cards about our federal judges. So that's the thing that my guides told me a long time ago. The whole reason for the soul named Dumpy is that we strengthen our democracy. But it's up to us to do it. So the judges. Quick, swift action from our federal judges. They're mourning and lamenting what hasn't worked with justice, but the Chariot and the 3 of Pentacles, it is getting stronger. This is about the building card. This is a building card. So reading on our federal judges, yeah, there's a lot of things that didn't get done. Like, for instance, why do we have a 35 times convicted felon who incited a violent, deadly insurrection on his own country? That's an abject failure of our judicial system. So that's what the 8 of Cups is about. But the Chariot means quick action, rebuilding. So that's good. Let's read on MAGA Mike. Let's read the deck of character. Okay, MAGA Mike and the deck of character. And thank you for being here. Thank you for hitting the thumbs up. We're having a good night. When there's big news, we have more people, which is great. Because we like to be together. The more the merrier. 3 conspiracy theorists walk into a bar. You can't tell me that's a coincidence. You're making me lose my train of thought. MAGA Mike. Sorry. You think it's easy? So where I live, it's the other day. The street sweeper got mad at me because my car was out there, and I didn't know. There's no sign saying the street sweeper is going to be there. I didn't know. So you know those street sweepers, how loud they are, right outside my bedroom window. So I got awoken at like 4:30 in the morning, and then today there was a big loud truck. So it's been, not only is there all this stress about what's going on, it's just like I need sleep. Anyway, we're all going through it, aren't we? MAGA Mike is sick to his stomach. I'm telling you. Is there a street sweeper? Yeah, apparently. Let me just segue a little bit because I just feel better venting. I get a ticket, right? It says warning. And then the cop signed the little thing. Street sweeping. You can't park here. Well, that was a day before the street sweeper actually came, so I thought I was fine. Oh my goodness. MAGA Mike. He's under fire. Yeah, this is just going back to the judicial system. What we're going through now is on John Roberts. What Ukraine is going through, not getting the munitions they need, that's on MAGA Mike. Right? Yeah. MAGA Mike. Vomit, fire. He's looking for an escape. No, I did not get a new car. Yeah, it doesn't look good for him. He's stressed out of his, you know what? What is it called when 2 flowers have an unplanned pregnancy? An oopsie daisy. That's a good one, Thomas. I like that one. Dumpy is Agent Orange. Yes, that's true. So MAGA Mike, it doesn't look good. He's trying to flee. I get this strong sense that they know that they're being found out. Let's pull 3 cards about Christy Nome. I know that was good. Oopsie daisy. John liked that one too. Yeah, that's a good one. That goes top of the list, that one. All right. Let's do this. We'll read on Christy Nome, and then we'll read on the MAGAs that are not going to the parade. Or just the MAGAs in the parade in general. Christy Nome, what's her fate? Does my city have a schedule for street cleaning? That's what I was trying to convey. Like they just weren't clear for it about it. And I was looking for a sign and the sign wasn't there and it was all confusing. So the street sweeper woke me up. Just right outside my door, just stayed there. You know how loud those are? Christy Nome's fate. Sunken ship. Sunken ship. Going to heaven. She thinks that her Lord Jesus will save her, but her ship has sunk. She thinks her Lord Jesus is going to save her, but she's already sunk. You have to move your car 4 days a week. I have to move my car every single day. I don't have a parking spot. Will this war come after Taco for sure? I think this war ends him. I do. Okay, so we're coming up upon an hour. Let me pull 3 cards for the weekend. If it's necessary, I'll come on and we can pray and intend together. Pray for our military, pray for our country. Visualize and talk about the outcome that you want. Okay, 3 cards about the weekend. I already pulled cards about the parade more than once. Did you just arrive? Protesting in Hartford, Connecticut tomorrow. Excellent. So cards for the weekend. I'll come back with a pop-up and Off the Ledges daily. Oh, you came late. Yeah, you just watch it on replay. And no worries. You don't have to apologize. The weekend, rejoice in celebration as we fight. I actually think J.D. Vance putting on makeup. I actually think, see, this is the devil card. This is the Satan card. I see for us that all the people coming out that are coming out, and that includes to view the Catholic Mass and Pope Leo. You don't have to be Catholic. Is going to bring us some balance. We need to see one another come together. That's like a healing force that can't be reckoned with. Is that people coming together, coming out and coming together, fights the evil. And in the tarot, these are kind of oracle cards. This is the devil. So be joyful. When you hear discouraging videos, I know we get our news from YouTube. I know we do. But I have been doing... Why is the Pope doing a Mass on TV? Your guess is as good as mine. On the 14th, on the same day as the military parade, your guess is as good as mine. What I've been doing with YouTubes is, and it's very cathartic, if they start talking in disappointing ways where you feel a punch to the gut, I click on not interested, even if it's a channel that I like to listen to. It's cathartic for me if I hear them going on, droning on and on about how bad it is and we've lost our democracy and now we're under an authoritarian dictatorship. When I hear that, I hit not interested. Because I'm not. Oh, wow, this Pope is good, that's for sure. I do think the Pope is performing an exorcism on MAGA indirectly. Maybe directly. Okay. I think we're good. It's an hour. Thank you. I'm going to do a video in a little while for my members who are learning how to use a pendulum. So I do presentations about my work and different topics. If you can see the join button, when you join at whatever level you'd like to join, it's a matter of how much you want to contribute to my channel. And thank you, thank you, thank you. You have access to the members-only videos. They're really teaching videos. And hit the thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll see you really soon. Church of Spirituality is every Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern. Come pray with us. Okay. Namaste. Be well. See you soon.